How could we expect to be consoled by political truth when we've turned our backs on forgiveness? My short attention span, my anger, and my half-heartedness produced garbage quality thinking. There's a lot to talk about. First of all, I urgently want to discuss the way we as individuals have come to consume information. As citizens of a deeply troubled era, we need solutions to our problems. Better understanding is the best solution to our pain, so I urgently suggest taking personal accountability for the information we choose while consuming both news and entertainment. The videos we devour will persuade our thinking in powerful ways beyond our understanding. We often end up watching an assortment of videos with varying amounts of truth. The things we watch have a profound effect on us. Videos affect both the information we choose to spread as well as our happiness and general well-being. Citizens weren't able to absorb and express opinions, perspectives, and testimonies as rapidly as we are today with our phones. We are at each other's throats these days. We disagree in part because we're all consuming different pieces of the puzzle. So truth is actually harder to have because there's so much noise and nonsense. But it's distraction we've been choosing. Entertainment sings to us like a lullaby. It's like we're both awake and asleep at the same time. But we lose reality when we become too engrossed in fiction, drama, and creative passion, not to mention malevolent disinformation. But all of these things overwhelm the senses. There was a time in my life when I rarely considered the profound importance of truth, duty, and love for my fellows. Those things actually seemed old-fashioned. I had become a hedonist, a product of my hyper-indulgent society. Worse yet, I thought I was one of the good guys, but I was just picking out on satisfaction. I wasn't paying attention to the power of habit or the power of thinking, and I hadn't made habit of good thinking. Eventually, I learned and accepted that lies provoke more lies, negativity makes for further negativity, and solutions beget solutions. I want to examine what went wrong in my society. So I'm talking about both what we've been fed and what we've chosen to eat. I think back to a time when I was tormented by anger and excessive emotions surrounding politics. My short attention span, my anger, and my half-heartedness produced garbage quality thinking. I've put real work into overcoming bad conduct in recent years, and I've chosen spiritual surrender. I know that anger doesn't work. Meanwhile, political resentment has intoxicated the generations. It's not practical to go through life indulged in the righteous anger that results from our own unwillingness to choose better information and better compassion. We are feeding our minds. Scrolling is, in fact, much like traditional education. We encounter all types of thinking when we swipe for content. So how did we get here? How did people become so upset with one another? Instead, I wonder, how could we expect to be consoled by political truth when we've turned our backs on forgiveness? We've fallen into denial about the usefulness of forgiveness. Forgiveness is the ultimate truth, perhaps, because it's the ultimate solution. We can search for the epitome of love and redemption if we really want solutions. We can examine our troubles and make a decision to follow a better example. Otherwise, we are tortured by our own stubborn unwillingness to do what we know is right. If we are unwilling to develop a habit of forgiveness, if we're unwilling to make a habit of consuming better information, our pain is right where it belongs. Let's continue to examine the thinking, making our own plans to do better as individuals. Let's examine our own routines. The novelty of political angst has worn thin, and the drama has only left us starving for what actually sustains us. I told you so's are futile, and it's certainly time to speak up on behalf of love. Again, I didn't used to think this way. Today, I want to exist as living proof that it's okay to change your mind. It's your decision whether to live in continual forgiveness or continual pain. We can choose to see the power of forgiveness toward both ourselves and others. That is an option for any of us, don't forget. There is a remedy for our misery. to follow that better example? Do you want to live out the story of Cain or King David? The choice is yours. It's an important decision to make. Those who don't are often swept away by life's onslaught of hardships, misfortunes, and distractions. But it's not too late for anyone to choose love and forgiveness. These solutions are explained thoroughly and exhaustively in the biblical texts. The utility of forgiveness, adventure, and courage, as well as the consequences of cowardice, vengeance, and betrayal. We learn from the wise as well as the unwise, but we embody what we admire. We become what we think about. It begins and continues by the payment of attention. We can acquire wisdom by paying attention to who gets what as a result of their decisions. The question is, do we want such wisdom, or do we want to be entertained and pacified? So we take a look around. People are doing great harm and withholding great love. Some are complaining and criticizing, others are seeking attention or seeking help. But what if we lived a life of potent solutions? We're all going to produce a life result. It might as well be a good one. The choice is yours. What will you embody? Decisiveness, habitual forgiveness, routine usefulness, willingness to grow, humility to remain teachable, love, honesty, truth, dignity, built thinking, comprehension, potency of solutions, thankfulness, adventure, courage. The question is why. The answer is truth, trust, and truth. At the time of recording, I have 16 subs. Please subscribe. I'm trying to grow my audience. Thank you for being here. You can think of me as a friend.